All right, it is the exalted one is here for you, like I am all the time. Hold on a second, let me turn on the fan here. Whoops. If you're lucky and you saw that cute little shot, yeah, no, it's not that bad anyway. I wear my sweats loose sometimes because when you sit down, I like to be comfortable. When I'm sitting here. So anyway, let's get right into the topic here. If you're poor, you're a goylem. Okay, this is now. I want to address one thing before I go off now and start to educate you people. It's like that derogatory term, you kind of people, you people. I said that my name, one guy that I know lives a couple blocks from me. He goes, "You people? What do you mean by you people?" And I say, "Hey, you know what? I'm sorry. You kind of people. Like that's how people are categorized. You gotta be open and used to the reality of life. Like there's you people. That's what it is. You kind of people. Like that's. I mean, get used to it. It's called stereotyping. It's called generalizing, and that's how the world works. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. I went to the gym earlier today, and the weekend. I call them the weekend warriors. These people they show up there, and these people. It's no offense to them. They just don't know their head from their ass. I was using the like two heavy bags. I was using one of them, and this one fucking rocket scientist. He starts to use the bag as like I took a break for a second. He just starts hitting it. You're a fucking idiot. Like these people don't even ask or anything. I went to the bank today. The bank is open limited hours on the weekend, and this checker, and she might as well be a fucking checker. She goes, making a deposit. So I give her my card, and then she's like, "Can I see your ID?" So usually we just flash it, no, it's you. But she's like looking at it. She's like typing up information. And I say, "What are you doing? What do you need? What are you trying?" Well, I don't know you. I don't know who you are. And I said, "Well, you have my bank card here, and I showed you my ID." So and she's talking about the other employees. They might know you. And she says, "Well, and she's trying to validate. So I go to her, "Well, I don't know who you are because you don't have a name tag on." And of course, what does she do? She tries to cover for her mistake, going, "Oh well, it's on its way," or something like that. And I go, "You look, you know what? Your argument is invalid." And I said, for every argument, there's a counter argument, telling me that I don't know who you are. So I threw it back at her. I said, "I don't know who you are." So that's the problem in this life. It's like you got to be able to take it to give it. And the problem is these people, they're not prepared for somebody like me. You're gonna throw something at me. I told you, I'm gonna fucking you try to throw a curveball at me, I'm gonna knock your head off with it. Or I'm gonna hit it out of the park. You don't understand. And they say, "Well, you're real combative, you're real like aggressive." I said, "Wait, you know what? In chess, like in life, you know what the goal in chess is? To fucking checkmate you. Generally, you will take everything. It's called greed. Like I say, well, chess is life, and yeah, it is. It is. Okay, let me tell you something. I told you about a friend of mine that owns like 30 properties and stuff like that. Then there's people sleeping in a tent. Okay, so my point is that there's people out there that are goylems that have nothing, and then there's people, dude, that are like they're real. They can be looked at chazers. We call that in Yiddish, it's called being a pig, right? But look, man, let me tell you how hard the world is. If you're hungry and you have no money, you're gonna be in a world of hurt, because you're not gonna be able to eat. Now, again, a guy that has 30 properties or something, he's not gonna go hungry. But my point is that there's people out there that live like such low. There's like this homeless woman. She used to live in her van, and it's like that's all she needed, like in her mind. It's a goylem. It's a goylem. We call that like a. I heard this thing called the golem. I don't. It's similar to the goylem. I don't know. It's somebody like a goylem is somebody that never amounted to anything, and generally, I'm very sorry to tell you, but society sizes you up, and you don't care if you believe in other people think. I don't care either. But my point is that's just like, if you're you need to have money to be able to do the things you want. Now again, I'm doing something that's very rare here. I'm telling you you're a goylem if you're poor. Now here's what it is. I'm telling myself that too. Now poor is relative. There's a difference between being temporarily broke and being poor. A big difference. In my building here where I live, these are poor people, okay? They're never going to become nothing. They never did anything with their lives. I don't know what, and I don't care. Okay, it's an irrelevant thing. They never became nothing. Now, you know, some of these people they try to fool themselves. They get some of these cars. They get like a deal like on a car that's 3 or 4 years old. And they think, oh, look at me, I have this. There's this one bonehead, this guy that lives in this building. He smokes. You're not allowed to smoke on the property, so he goes outside and he's got like, I don't know, it's an older, a Mercedes or whatever. Like he sits in there, he doesn't know he's a goylem. It's worth a couple thousand, whatever if that. And he thinks in his mind like he has something. Like it's nothing. It's nothing. Like a couple thousand. You don't understand. That's poor. In Los Angeles, that's poor. Okay, you got to understand something. Now, I'm talking about if you the difference. I have two friends that pay $3,000 a month rent here to live in the valley, right? And it's like, dude, you're taking $3,000 a month and you're basically just throwing it away. They have it's because they want to be here. And I says, look, man, I just showed you places in Las Vegas, decent condos, nice, 100,000, or even some of these are fixer uppers, beautiful, 80,000, need a little bit of work. Dude, think about that. In the span of like 2 to 3 years, you own it, okay? And that money is like could build value. The condo could go up. More than likely it will. More than likely it will rise. I'm telling you, these people that live here, like they're spending, they're fools. Now, my thing is, I made some catastrophic errors. I told you this. I'm a very gutsy person. I took some big risks, in the stock market and cryptocurrency. I thought like I could nail it on this. And basically, what happened was it went like this, and then the life fell out of it. It killed me like this. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was like well on my way to buying my condo. I was like, all right, we almost got this thing here, and then it just all fell apart on me. And and it didn't rebound. In the stock market, you get a margin call. It's either close out your position or put more money in. And I didn't have any money. That's all. I got fucked. I got totally fucked, and it really sucks. Now again, I might be knocked down, but I'm not knocked out. There's a big difference. I just sold a couple $1,000s worth of comics yesterday. Okay, well that's working on paying off credit card. See, I attack problems like it's a disease or something like that. And it's like, look, it ain't over till it's over. The people like that I see, you're 60. I got a friend, he's 57. I talked to him yesterday, and look, the guy never owned any property or something. The guy's barreling towards 60 years old. He lives on a Section 8 voucher. He's a hustle. He hustles like to send flyers and do things like little money here, a couple hundred here. But the guy, the second he accumulates something, he goes right down the casino and gives it all away. So, he has he'll never have anything. And it's like I don't have the heart to tell him, but it's just like he doesn't. He has no. He's a golem. He's a goylem. He's a good guy, but he's a goylem. And that's up to him. Look, in the end, it's your life. Okay, it really is your life. You want to be a goylem, be a nothing, then you will answer to like the older people in my building. You answer to the authority. Whatever the government owned housing, and be happy that you have it. Like to some of these, I remember like I had that voucher when it came. I wasn't able to use it, but I remember I got this voucher and everybody's like clapping this. And I go, what are you all clapping for? You didn't find a place yet. So it's like they're just so happy for so little. And this was like about 17 years ago. I remember these things. It's so amazing. Like it's sad too. Like look, you don't understand something. When you're living like on a low income, everything, you're kind of like on life support. And I didn't realize that. I thought, okay, well, hey, you get a monthly check, you're surviving, but it's not. You're not able to get ahead. So I thought, like, okay, well, hey, why don't you go back to school? School and really advance yourself. And let me tell you something, man. I'm giving you some free education here. And you fuckers out there that try to like give me this FYI for your information, you're not schooling me. Go fuck yourself because you need to be listening to me, not trying to educate me. I'm educating you, okay? I don't need you. You're not teaching me nothing. You're you have no business commenting. I don't care. You can comment all you want. Send me money. Like you want to comment or something. You want to fucking send me money or whatever. But don't try to educate me, dude, because you're not. You're gonna look like a fool. Just like that woman that did at the bank today. She looked like a fool. Try to tell me I don't know who you are. I don't know who you are. You're not wearing a name badge. And plus, they're playing loud music in there in the bank. And I said, why don't you turn this fucking music down? I didn't say fucking, but I said, you can't even hear you between the shielding and the masks and everything. I got this loud music. What the hell's wrong with you? And that's the problem in West Hollywood. West Hollywood, it's no offense, but these people, a lot of them are just very odd, strange, and weird. They're not accepted in society. That's why they all have to live, in this concentrated environment because what they're doing. This is odd, strange, and weird. And the thing is that I don't care about them. They're irrelevant. I don't hate them. See, the problem is that it can be misconstrued. Like if you're not gay and you live around, the area with these people, and it's like, well, you're not like us, so that means you hate us. And I go, no, 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 no. You don't understand. I'm neutral. I'm neutral. I don't care about you people. I don't care. Actually, I'm for your rights. So I'm not neutral. I'm for your rights. Good for you. Good for you. But I don't care about you. I don't care because you do nothing for me. And that's the way I think in my mind. If you don't do anything to advance me, then I don't fucking care about you. And that's how the harsh reality of the world works. It does work that way. I don't care if you want to sugarcoat it and say, "Oh, but you have to be nice to people." You have to. No, you don't. You don't. Because it's saying if you're not nice and you're being mean to people. No, I'm not. I'm just being defensive. I'm protecting my own, protecting myself. And unfortunately, when you have to protect yourself, it may not look nice. But this is the reality of the world we are living in. It is very, very competitive. It doesn't show it sometimes. But let me tell you something. If it's like let's say where you live in a city, it's like an ocean. Let me tell you something. The sharks are swimming and they're swimming 24/7. They're looking to buy your property. They're looking, they're looking. Believe me, you have to understand. You have to open up your mind and take a look behind the curtain or poke holes in it. That's what I'm doing for you. I'm poking holes in the curtain for you to see the truth. Now, they don't teach you this in school. You're learning it from somebody that has enough life experience, has been around long enough, and it sucks. But the reality of life is, if you don't have connections, and you think just because you got a college degree, you're gonna you're gonna think you're something special. I have news for you. You're nothing. Who are you? Nothing. How many TV shows you been on? What have you done? What makes you fucking different? Exactly. Nothing. Most people, they're nothing special. I just hate to tell you that. You can hire you like anybody else. You're nothing really special. And you have to realize that. Now, there's things that I can do that separates me. I told you in the gym, there's something that separates me from all the people in there. But that's not saying much because if you're in a room with a full with a room full of imbeciles, and you have half a brain, you're looked at as a genius. So, but you see, I know more than that. I know what's out there, okay? Because I've been out there. I've seen the best in everything. Okay, I wanted to know, like who is the best that or amongst the best in the country at this or that or anything. I've seen what's out there. Okay, I mean, I'm very sorry to say, but if you're poor, you're a goylem. You are. Um, you're a goylem. You're a golem for a couple different reasons. Now, number one, why are you poor? Why are you poor? I want to ask you that. Well, because you overwhelm yourself. You put too much on your plate. You have pets. If you have no money, why do you have pets? Okay? I mean, making money should be the number one priority. Animals, they just, what they're doing, they're actually holding you down. They are. Costs money, time, energy, food, all their animals, you know? If you're wealthy, if money's not your problem, okay, but if money's your problem and you got animals, then you need to get rid of them. I'm sorry. I don't have any animals. I don't have because it's holding me down. It's holding me back. That's the reality. That's number one. Number two, if you dug yourself in a credit card hole like I did, what the fuck are you doing? Okay? If you did what I did, I built up my lines and then I fucked myself. Now I'm working my way out of it. It's taken me about a year and a half. And I know these consolidation people do not fucking do it. You got yourself into, you get yourself out of. Stop buying shit that you don't need. Whatever you use your credit card, what the fuck did you do? Me, I fucking gambled is what I did. I leveraged my credit cards to buy gold, and then I told you what I did already. I got out of all that shit. And then finally I did some legitimate, you know, buying and selling, hustling, you know, and making here, make a couple thousand here. And then, you know, fortunately, a lot of those credit cards, a lot of that shit went to collections. I hate that, but you know what? Take care of those last. And don't give these minimums things. Save up that, use your money as leverage, build up, and then pay it all off at once. Don't go this what I call dicking around, this little nickel and dime payments and shit. Stop doing that shit, okay? And if you're living in an area, you're paying fucking rent, you're paying too much. What the fuck are you doing? You know, if you're poor, of course, you're making the landlords rich. Why the fuck are you here then? You're working at a market, then you can go work in a market anywhere else in fucking New Mexico or fucking Las Vegas or something where the bar's not so hot. I told you, you can afford a nice condo out there that you could own something. That the difference between people that have and the people that are poor, the goylem, the people that have own something. You don't, because you're fucking poor. You're stupid. I'm sorry. I'm giving you tough love, but that's the reality. That's me. My grandparents, they fucked up. Okay? They could have bought homes in Mount Olympus. They didn't. It's a catastrophic error. You pay the price for catastrophic errors in life. I told you, I have a friend, he's 57, and I got another friend, he's in his 60s already. He really fucked up, but he's smart though. He's okay. You could fuck up if you're not a goylem. Let's say what happens is, like, he owned property before and he sold it, and then he got caught in a gambling fucking thing and wound up losing like $1 million over the span of 20 years or whatever. And now he's paying $3,000 a month rent, right? But he's getting out of the hole with the credit cards. And believe me, he'll own a property again. It's a matter of time. You could be, that's different. That's not poor. That's knocked down, but not knocked out. That's broke, not poor. Big difference. People that live in like the government housing or whatever, that's poor. That's my friend that has a voucher. That's a goylem. That's poor. Yeah, he'll never have. He'll never have it. You know, and you know, it's just. Even if I tell him, like, dude, you're a goylem. You'll never have anything. It's just the reality. Like, it's pointless for me to say, because if he doesn't know it, I don't need to tell him. You know. That's it. You know, like, it's just the reality. And I know you people are starting to watch this. I'm happy. I'm happy you're paying attention. But the thing is, I'm telling you the way that it is. If you're young, you got a chance. You got a chance. I'm serious. Don't be fucking 50 years old going like this. Because it's like, at 50 years old, it's like, if you haven't, like, you know, climbed out of the hole and well on your way to changing your life, it's over. It's over. You won't have. You're gonna because you're gonna remain the same. That's the way it is. That's the reality. And the only time you hear exceptions, it makes like the news or something like that. The story of Colonel Sanders or what Eckhart Tolle. But you see, Eckhart Tolle was writing. He didn't sell it till he was 50 years old. But he was working on it all through his 30s and 40s. Finally, and that's what generally happens. Like that you hit it all at once. Generally, once all the work's been done. I mean, think about it. It's like if you save 10,000 a year for 10 years, at the end of 10 years you have 100,000 saved up. I mean, it's like a lot, right? But 10 years is a long fucking time. I mean, that's a big sacrifice. But think about that. What's that worth? You got to understand, man, living in government housing, fuck. I mean, it's like the projects almost, like those people, it's man, you just never will be anything. It's and I know those people kind of fool themselves. They call them ghetto fat people. Go out and trying to show like they have something, but no, they don't. They're fooling themselves. Now, if you're okay with being poor, then I don't know what to tell you. I feel sorry for you. It's like I do, because there's so much out there in life, to become, and it's like there's so much money out there, but for whatever reason, a lot of these people just resign to a life of nothing, and society judges you. I'm very sorry to say, but there's a thing called social status, and generally the social status equates to where you stand in the grand scheme of things. And when you're like a poor person, you're at the very bottom. You might think you're equal. You might think you're like everybody else, but you're not. You're not. You're disregarded in society. Okay? You're discarded. Don't you notice like people that go to like a high-end hotel, when the person opens the door for them, welcome kind of thing. Understand the power of status. And I just told you on the smallest level. Like a fine restaurant when people, or when they bring you something. Or if you're doing something, hello, Mr. So-and-so, like you're greeted as if you are of status, you are something. Or like somebody that has an agent or a manager, that they will discuss it on my behalf. Think about that. Some of these athletes, they do autograph signings, they charge money for their signature. It's status. It's power. And you're lucky to, they raise the prices of these tickets at these sporting events to keep the poor people out. They don't want you there. They want people of status there. And people of status can afford to go to these things. But even them, they're not even real people of status. The people of status are the ones above that control everything. They're the controllers. The participants, but the people that make it happen, that own the teams and stuff like that. I mean, come on. You think LeBron James is rich? How rich do you think the owner of the Lakers is? Signs his paycheck. You need to understand. To understand that you are eating crumbs. They're eating buffets. I'm not telling you you need to be one of the controllers, but there's a huge difference between being like settling for, so little. I call it life support. I could do it. I've done this for 14 years now. It didn't bother me for about 12. About 11 and a half. I stopped drinking about 2.5 years ago. And, what I noticed with me, I was a regular beer drinker. That was my thing. And, I'd go to like bars, I'd go around, I didn't care. And what happens, like with me, is that I just didn't care, like, to become have anything, or be anything, or try to do anything. I just wanted to go to these hole in the wall bars and just hang out there. Maybe try to meet women if there was. But it's like escapism. And those people that hang out there, they don't have nothing for the most part. For the most part. I wasted most of my life in those places, and in card rooms too. I thought I was going to be a professional poker player, and then I thought I developed a system for Pai Gow poker. Funny, it was like working for a little while. I thought I had it. Things would write down everything. It didn't matter. So my point is that I tried a lot of things. And, what I did with my life, I chased my passions. I really tried. But what you have to do sometimes is you have to sacrifice. And a lot of people are not going to do that. So if you're poor and you're spending your money on alcohol and cigarettes or weed, I already talked about pets. You have to analyze yourself and try to figure out whatever money's coming in, where's it going? If you're paying too much rent, then you're a fool. You're a fool. Because you know what you're doing? You're treading fucking water in the middle of the North Atlantic with a life preserver, is what you're doing. Movie Titanic, whatever, it crashed, it dropped, it crashed, whatever. It sank in the middle of the North Atlantic. It's funny, I heard a story one time that the water one time during the summer, it was actually fairly warm. But my point is that there's nothing there. And you're going to die in there eventually. The life preserver will float. That will continue to float. But what you're doing is you're just treading water. If you're paying a high rent, and you're not, how are you building anything? How are you building if all your money you're giving it away to rent in like high end, like Los Angeles? It's you're making a piddly money. You're treading water. So I already told you what to do. If you're paying attention, go back and just listen 10 minutes ago. Sacrifice. If you're young, you could still do something with your life. But when you get older, good luck. Without connections or people, I'm a very combative person. You can tell by the way that I am. And that's the way that I am. I have to be. Because this is the narrative of people not helping you. They're not going to. I told you I got thrown out of J-Lo's office. I try to reach out to all these people. No one's gonna fucking help you. Okay? Nobody's going to help you, my friend. And what happens is time gets the best of all of us. I don't care who you are. And if you waste enough time, there'll be no way for you to get out from being a poor goylem, like most of the people here in my building. I'm not putting them down. They say, people that put other people down is because it makes you feel better, but it doesn't mean you're better. It does nothing. They're irrelevant. And the problem is, when you don't associate with people, they think you're a jerk. There's nothing to associate with people. They're in zero position to advance you. You have to advance yourself. Now, there's ways to get out of this. Number one, understand the power of credit. Okay? You're going to need to figure out a way you can leverage that power to maybe buy something of value. Dr. Franco Columbu, Arnold's training friend that passed away, he told me something in his office one time. I'm going to share it with you. He told me, he said, find the biggest piece of shit condo you can, the cheapest, whatever. Fix it up and sell it. That was his advice. Don't have enough money for a condo, find other shit you can flip. In the meantime, build your credit status. That way, the more access to capital that you have, the more leverage you have, the more power you have. Look for the deals. They're out there. There's people that need money. I told you, I sold, I don't know, maybe $3,000-$4,000 worth of comics for what I get, $2,600. That guy's gonna make a couple thousand off of me for sure. Just like that, he had the cash. Plenty of people that need money out there. You can go to swap meets, flea markets, garage sales, thrift shops, anything. There's one guy who goes around to like these thrift shops with his phone, right? And he just scans the UPC codes on the books. And then there's a company they'll buy the books if they're in good shape. Like if it comes up, they'll say how much they pay. So, it's work, right? But you're working for yourself. You're working for yourself. That's why I see those goylems, like recycling and stuff like that. That's backbreaking work. Don't do that shit. But at least they're working for themselves. They follow like the recycling things, and they got like a little cheap truck or whatever, and they dig through the dumpsters, they're doing the hey, that's like, I guess, if you're absolutely, wits end zero, you starting from absolute nothing. But I mean, these are all ways you could get the ball rolling in life. And if you have a little bit of psycho, we call it Yiddish, means a little bit of brain power, you can go to any community college. They'll give you a Pell Grant. That covers tuition, and that's some pocket money to get you started in life. If you're young, and really, maybe you could join the military. A couple of years invested, 4 years, hey, think about that, save up some money from that, learn a trade, a skill, something. Even, I know it makes it like a plumber or something like that. A good plumber can make $100,000 a year. You want to get a little dirty for $100,000 a year? own your own condo in Vegas for $100,000. What the fuck are you doing in Los Angeles? If you don't really have a reason to be here. There's a lot of people, they just don't know that they want to be here. For what, to see celebrities or something? The good weather? It gets hot out there. So what? You want to be a poor bum in Beverly Hills? It's sort of like you're poor. Poor is like living death to me. It's like living death. My grandparents, I mean, told you they could have bought houses in Mount Olympus. They own snack bars. Why not? It was more important for them to go to the racetrack. So if you're poor, think about where you're spending your fucking money on. Even if you're going to the casino on the weekends or whatever, blowing a couple hundred. It's not that. It's a couple hundred, but it's like your mental faculty, your brain is not like focusing on how to get ahead in life. It's just staying on that life preserver. Like my friend, he's like 57 years old. It's too late. It's too late. You never owned anything, but like I say by 50. I said by 50. If you don't own anything by 50 years old, or you're not damn near fucking close by 50, I have news for you. It's not going to happen. Of course, there's situations where it happens. People come into money, this and that. But let me tell you something. It hasn't happened by 50. Why not? What the fuck have you done your whole life by 50 years old? What the hell have you done? Where the hell have you made any money? Where is it spent on? There's an answer for everything. If you're poor at 50 years old, there's a reason why. Now, there are situations, like I told you, my friend that made it, but he's on his way back. It was awful, addictions are a bitch. I feel for you. But you know what? You attack them like a fucking illness. And you go, I'm done with that. It's over. Door closed. Move on. Told you, stop drinking 2.5 years ago. And what happened? Mine started to clear up. I couldn't talk like 2.5 years ago. No fucking way I couldn't do this. No way. Change your mind, change your life. Or be a poor goylem. There's going to be plenty of them out there. Is that a way to go through life? To be nothing, to have nothing, to do nothing, to sit in the crowd? Not me. Sorry. Maybe you. That's fine. That's why I do this channel. Because I'm real. No one's going to do this. Nobody's going to be, there's people that do like tough love kind of thing like that. Hey, I'm being hard on myself too, okay? Because I've been there. But there's a way out. Starts in here first. Stop thinking ordinary. Yeah, your dreams, I understand. You might have dreams. I had them too. But I told you, you got to sacrifice sometimes. You're going to wind up being 50 years old, some stupid dreams that you had, and no fucking money. Living in, poor, renting, either paying too much rent or living in government housing. Both are bad. Both are bad. Someone's getting rich off of you, or you're being on life support. You have to own. Say it to yourself. You have to own. You have to own. When you own, you win. Believe me. Don't think about making money off your property. Just think it's mine. It's mine. When you live in government housing, it's not yours. When you pay rent, it's not yours. Go get yours. I'm getting mine. I'm working on it. It's been about 2.5 years. I'm working real fucking hard. Even with Columbo's advice. I got a friend, he does construction. Believe me, in one fucking day, a place that needs a little bit of work, you could make it livable within a day. I've seen guys, you see those home improvement people that work their asses off and everything. They get that place fucking running in a couple days. And you're not fucking around. Stop fucking around. It's like those people in my gym. They're all fucking around. I'm not. In the span of like 2 months, I'm like, I don't know. I don't care what they're thinking. I don't know. I know what I can do now that I couldn't do 2 months ago. I don't fuck around. My shirt was like soaked. This red shirt. My God. I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm wearing the mask in the fucking gym. The snot was all. When I walked out the gym, I had to like blow the snot out of my. It was ridiculous. And then even during the thing, I mean, I'm the only person running to where they have like the tissues or whatever. It's like all that shit's coming out. I mean, I'm working my ass off in there. There's nobody in there that's even can match me. Not even 10% of what I do in there. I'm on another level, way far past. It's like comparing Bruce Lee to somebody that's trying to be like I don't know, somebody that's trying to do martial arts or something. I work that hard. I'm too determined. My resolve, it's just I'm like relentless. I never said I was good. I never said I was. I've always been a humble person. But in my mind, it's like the best or nothing. The best you can be. And there's no way. Like Brock Lesnar, it's something like that's ridiculous. But the best you can be. If you're poor, and you want to change, sacrifice. Get rid of the pets. Okay? Get rid of all the negative, all the pollution, smoking, drinking, marijuana, and bad friends. They all must go. Sacrifice everything. Hang around nobody. Just yourself, and figure out a way to get from down here moving forward. I told you, if you listen to me, I gave you the secrets. But none of you are going to sacrifice everything because it's too hard. I'm willing to. I was close. I was close to, before. But this time I'm going to nail it with the next 2 years. And that's my challenge. To climb out of the poorhouse. It's very easy to stay there. It's very comfortable to stay in the poorhouse. But it's not living. You see the same people working in the market for like 20 years. They have nothing. How can they, And there's one jabroni, this one idiot, got all these cats and everything. He's, works in the market. He's just stupid. He's a goylem. Goylem don't have anything. Don't be a goylem. Anyway, I hope you appreciated this one. I look forward to reading your comments. Send your money instead of your fucking advice.